Okay, today we're going to talk about imaginary numbers and reducing the powers of I. Please make sure that you take out a piece of loose leaf paper if you chose not to print out these notes. So to simplify a power of I, you're going to need your graphing calculator. We're going to first use the exponent rules to remove any parentheses if needed. Then we're going to hit the math button. We're going to go over to num. We're going to pick choice 3, which is your I part. We're going to hit second, then the decimal point button. Then we're going to hit the caret button, and then we're going to type in the power of I. The caret button here is going to give the I on the calculator. You must do your whole numbers separately from the I. So if we look at number 1, if I wanted to reduce I to the 10th power, I would hit math, I would go over to num, I would pick choice 3, I would hit second decimal, that gives me my I, then I would hit the caret button, then I would type in a 10, and you should get -1. If I look at number 2, it says I to the 25th power. So again, it's math, go over to num, go down to choice 3, which is I part, hit second decimal, then hit caret, then hit 25, and you should get I. If we did I to the 43, again, math, over to num, down to I part, second decimal, then a caret, then 43, you're going to get -I. And if we wanted to do I to the 404 power, again, it's math, num, down to I part, second decimal, then the caret, then 404, and you should get 1. Every power of I is going to reduce to either a 1, a -1, an I, or a -I. Sometimes you are asked to do this with numbers as well. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of the parentheses. This exponent of the 2 here goes to both the I and to the 2. Remember, when we're raising exponents to a power, we multiply. There's really ones there, so this is really 2 squared, because 2 times 1 is 2, and then I squared. Now, you're going to do these separately in your calculator. 2 squared, we know, is 4. I squared, again, if you go math, over to num, down to choice 3, which is I part, hit second decimal, then hit the caret button, and then hit squared, you'll learn that I squared is -1. 4 times -1 is -4. If I look at the second example, notice that the exponent of a 5 only goes with the I to the 3rd. So this, if we wanted to simplify it, becomes a 3. 5 times 3 is 15, so this is I to the 15th power. So again, if we simplify I to the 15th, go math, over to num, down to I part, second decimal, then a caret, then 15, we'll figure out that I to the 15th is -I. If I multiply 3 times -I, that becomes -3I. This is my answer. If I look at the third example, again, this exponent of a 3 goes to the 6 and the 1 that's there that's not written. We're going to multiply our exponents. 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 3 is 18. So in your calculator, you could do 5 caret 3, and you will get 125. And then in your calculator, again, it's math, go over to num, go down to I part, second decimal, then a caret, then type in 18, and that's going to give you -1. So if I multiply 125 times -1, that's -125 in simplest form. Again, your best friend for this simplifying I's is going to be your calculator, and we're going to go math, num, down to I part, second decimal is going to give me the I in the calculator, hit the caret, and then hit the power. If you have any questions, please write them down and either email me or ask me next time you see me.